Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm Dave with FindYourNextGuitar.com, and in this video I have a 2002 made in Mexico Fender Stratocaster neck. And the neck has been sitting in a while. I purchased it used, and the previous owner didn't take a whole lot of care about it, so I'm actually going to refinish the neck, and I'll show you the restoration process that I'm going to do. In this video in particular, the one thing that I'm going to show you is how to clean up an old string tree. The string tree on it has got some rust and tarnish, and it could potentially break the string just because the rust pits the metal and it puts little grooves in it. And you know, it really could also affect the way that the guitar sounds. So we're going to polish that up, put it back on the guitar, and enjoy. And I'm just going to zoom in here, and you can see that the string tree there is pretty nasty looking. It's pretty rusted and tarnished. Now, I had a replacement one, but as you can see, it's too tall. So I can't use that without moving the hole, and I don't really want to drill another hole into the headstock here. So I am going to clean the older string tree. One of the best things that I have found to clean or polish up little pieces for guitar is this stuff called Flitz. As you can see, it's $7.99 for a little tube of it. I'm not endorsed by them in any way or anything. It's just something that probably everyone can find at the hardware store. Any type of metal polish is going to be fine for this, but one thing that you absolutely have to do is you must remove that. You must take it off the headstock. This stuff will eat into the wood or have a reaction with the finish on virtually every guitar, so you must remove the string tree first. And in order to do that, all you need is a Phillips head screwdriver or a flathead based on the screw that is in your headstock. All you do is simply unscrew it. Once you have removed the string tree and you've got it somewhere far away from your guitar so that you don't damage the paint or any of the wood at all, just take a little bit of the Flitz, and you could use something like a toothbrush. The instructions say to use a microfiber towel, but the reality of the situation is this is a small piece. You're just trying to remove some tarnish. It doesn't need to be really polished. You know, if it needs to be restored or look brand new, string trees are very cheap, and you're just best off buying a new one. But you can just take a little bit of this on your toothbrush and just rub it onto the string tree and let it sit there for a little bit, and then wipe it with a paper towel. And I'm going to play around with this for a while, and I'm going to pause the video and I'll show you the end result. So here is the end result of that. This is what it looks like when I'm finished. Obviously it's not perfect, and you can still see some pitting and little scratches in there. I wasn't going for perfect or full restoration, just to remove any of the rust and the tarnish, and that's exactly what I wanted. On the bottom of the screw, you might be able to see the little bit of yellow that's on there. That's actually a little bit of carnauba wax, and I put that on the screw before I put it back into the headstock, because this hole, and just in general, whenever you're doing anything with the headstock, this is a very tight hole, and putting a screw in there, because this is maple. Maple's a very dense and hard wood, and anytime that you're putting a screw in, even if it's already a pre-drilled hole, there is a small chance that it could crack or split. So the little bit of wax, or you could use something like bar soap or even candle wax. It doesn't have to be wet. You could just, if you have a scented candle in your home, you could just take the screw and scratch it against the candle, and what it does is it just lubricates the screw as it's going in, to ensure that it will not crack. And then you definitely want to put this in by hand with a screwdriver. Don't use any power tools for anything like that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and screw that back in place, and then I will show you the final result. And there you have it. It looks significantly better than it did before, and it almost matches the tuning pegs now. And then, as always, anytime that you remove or replace a string tree, there's always going to be some small adjustments that you may have to make, because you're never going to get it in the exact spot that it was before. So whenever you put the strings on and tune it, you'll have to see whether this needs to turn a little bit or not. So I've left this somewhat loose. I could turn it if I need to. And that's it. That's the best way to get the tarnish off your string tree. I mean, if you really want to go all out with it too, you could also take a little Dremel with a buffing wheel and still use that same stuff, Flitz. Flitz is basically just a metal polishing compound. So if you guys enjoyed the video or found it helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching.